This spot is barely on any map. Arctic ice, wind, silence, then sudden movement. Ships, planes, containers, and troops. Satellites detected preparations underway. On the archipelago land at the secret Pankovo base, Russia is preparing to test a weapon that no one else has. A weapon that can fly for days, has no defense, and is nicknamed the Flying Chernobyl. What is it? Why is it so dangerous? And what did Vladimir Putin say? The answers may surprise you. So let's review everything step by step. First, we need to understand where this weapon is born. Welcome to Beyond the Borders. This is where we uncover hidden connections, power games, and conflicts that shape our world. Pankovo's secret base holds significance you won't find in a tourist guide. Pankovo is an Arctic military complex on the Novaya Zemlya archipelago, site of the Soviet Union's detonation of the most powerful bomb ever, the Tsar Bomba. That explosion rocked the Earth and global politics. Now, old Soviet hangars are gone. Pankovo has a modernized runway for special aircraft, a port for supply ships, and a sophisticated rocket launch pad with a movable cover. It can close in such a way that it hides the entire launch system underneath. This site is ideal for tests too dangerous elsewhere. It's isolated from Russia and has controlled access. No civilians. If something goes wrong, the chance that the world will find out immediately is minimal. Satellite images now show unusual activity, with ships anchored longer than normal. Containers are piled on the coast. The missile launch pad cover moves back and forth. Aircraft with special radar domes are parked in the hangars, the same ones used for collecting data from nuclear tests. The order for Russian sailors is ominous. They must avoid this area. Everything suggests that a major test is approaching. Not a test of an ordinary weapon, but of something that could change the rules. That's what we'll discuss in the next chapter. What is Burevestnik and why is it unique? The official Russian designation for this missile is 9M-730, known in NATO terminology as SSCX-9 Skyfall. It sounds like an action movie name, but the truth is even more dangerous. This is an experimental cruise missile with a nuclear propulsion system. Not a nuclear warhead, that wouldn't be anything new, but a nuclear engine. Inside it, there's a small reactor that can generate a huge amount of heat, and that's used to power the ramjets. Or a turbojet engine. No tanks full of kerosene, no flight limitations. Theoretically, it can fly for days or even weeks, until it receives the order to strike its target. It can carry a nuclear or conventional warhead. In strategic thinking, it's mainly seen with a nuclear warhead, making it a true global weapon. And that's not all. Burevestnik is designed to fly at low altitudes, just a few dozen meters above the ground or sea. That means it can hide behind terrain and evade radars. With its near unlimited range, this creates frightening scenarios. The missile can launch from Russia, circle the entire planet, come from a direction where no one expects it, and strike exactly where the enemy is weakest. Why is this so unique? Because no other weapon like it is currently in active development. No other military is attempting to develop a nuclear-powered cruise missile. It's technologically demanding, costly, and extremely risky. The reactor may release radioactive particles during flight. This means that the mere flight of such a missile can leave a trail of radiation over countries that aren't even the target of the attack. Here's where Putin's version enters the story. When he first introduced the Burevestnik in 2018, he described it as a low-flying radar-invisible missile with virtually unlimited range, which has no equal in the world and cannot be intercepted by current or future defense systems. He said this weapon assures Russia it can defeat any defense and guarantee a retaliatory strike. In 2023, he took a tougher stance, declaring that a successful test had already taken place, development was nearing completion, and the Burevestnik would soon enter service. He also said no one else in the world has anything like it, or is even close. Many Western analysts say it's also a political tool, a symbol of technological superiority that Moscow uses to intimidate the West and boost its negotiating position. Whether it's an actual power shift or costly propaganda, one thing is clear: no one else has anything like this today. Where does the threat lie? Burevestnik is not just another missile in the Russian arsenal. It merges the two most frightening words in modern warfare, nuclear and unlimited. The first threat is technical. Nuclear propulsion means that the missile's flight itself can release radioactive particles. If there were an accident during launch or flight, it could lead to widespread contamination, not only in the target area, but also in the countries over which the missile flew. Such a scenario is not just theoretical. In 2019, during a test at the Nonoxa range, there was an explosion that killed 5 top scientists. Although Russian authorities spoke about an isotope source, Western intelligence agencies were convinced that it was actually the Burevestnik. The second threat is military. With its small reactor, the Burevestnik can fly indefinitely. It can bypass any air defense, attack from a direction that is completely unprotected, and strike at a moment when the opponent least expects it. This undermines strategic stability. Countries may no longer be sure they can detect threats in time and respond. The third threat is political. Putin claims the Burevestnik negates the benefits of American missile defense systems. He describes it as a response to United States efforts to achieve unilateral military superiority. If the missile proves to be reliable, it could spark an arms race in an area that has been considered too risky for decades. If one power gets it, others will want it too. Also, there's the psychological threat. The concept of a flying Chernobyl, flying globally and striking unexpectedly, is an ideal intimidation tool. Infrequent flights still inspire fear. It's enough just to talk about it. We're not done yet. If you like this video, give it a shout out. You'll help it reach more people that way. If you'd like to support my work, you can contribute through thanks. Thank you. Let's keep going. How the development of the missile has gone so far. The first mentions of Burevestnik appeared in intelligence analyses around 2016. At that time, it was unclear if it was a real project or just a concept. Vladimir Putin first presented it to the world in his March 2018 address to the Federal Assembly. With dramatic animations on a big screen, he declared that Russia was developing a low-flying, nuclear-powered cruise missile with virtually unlimited range, which could not be intercepted by either existing or future defense systems. Development remained secret, but satellite images and leaks revealed tests where the missile was launched from ground platforms. According to Western analysts, there were at least 13 of them, most ended in failure. The missiles crashed soon after launch or missed their intended path. Only 2 tests can be considered partially successful, when the missile flew a longer distance but still did not reach its full potential. The most serious incident was on August 8, 2019. An explosion happened at the Nonoxa test range near the White Sea while handling an experimental propulsion system. 5 top scientists from Rosatom died, and a brief radiation increase was recorded in the area. The official statement mentioned an isotope source for a missile, but most military experts were sure it was the Burevestnik. After the accident, testing paused. Several test sites, including Pankovo on Novaya Zemlya, had their infrastructure modernized. New port facilities and hangars appeared, and protection against satellite surveillance was strengthened. In 2023, Putin reiterated the missile's successful test and said development was nearly complete. In 2025, satellite images revealed major activity in Pankovo. Ships, planes with special radar domes, movement of containers, and the unveiling of a missile launch pad. All signs indicate another test is only days away. What about other countries with nuclear-powered missiles? Burevestnik is an absolute unique case in this regard. Today, there is no other military that has a nuclear-powered cruise missile in active development. Russia stands alone in this, and for good reason. The United States tried to develop a similar weapon in the 1950s and 60s. The project was called Supersonic Low-Altitude Missile, and its nuclear engine was developed under Project Pluto. The goal was ambitious. A supersonic missile with near unlimited range that flies low and deploys thermonuclear warheads along its route. Fascinating technology, but very dangerous. A nuclear ramjet would continuously emit radioactive fallout during flight, leaving a nuclear trail. In 1964, the project was canceled not only because of the risks, but also because intercontinental ballistic missiles proved to be more practical. The Soviet Union also tested nuclear propulsion for missiles and aircraft. However, most of these projects never reached the full testing phase. Here too, common sense prevailed over the idea of a flying reactor that could crash anywhere. Today, countries such as the United States of America, China, France, and Great Britain use traditional propulsion. Their nuclear reactors power submarines and aircraft carriers, not missiles. And even countries that have a reputation as technological pioneers in armaments avoid this concept. That's what makes Burevestnik both exceptional and disturbing. Russia has entered an area where others said no decades ago. And it's doing so at a time when the world is facing new conflicts, rising tensions, and an arms race. Conclusion, open questions, and what a successful test could mean. If Burevestnik flies successfully, it will be more than a technical win for Russian engineers. It will also be a political message, a signal that Moscow can develop a weapon that knows no boundaries or time limits. For Putin, it would be confirmation of his words that Russia has technology that no one else has. But success could also have a dark side. It could spark a new arms race, this time in an area the world has so far considered too risky. It might persuade other countries to try nuclear missile propulsion, despite risks of accidents and radiation. And here comes the key question. Do we even need such a weapon? From a technical point of view, it's fascinating. From a military perspective, it's unpredictable. From a planetary safety viewpoint, it's a flying reactor that could crash anywhere if it malfunctions. Today's satellite images show that the test could take place in just a few days. We will all have to ask ourselves a question. Are we prepared for a time when nuclear reactors fly overhead, ready to strike any time? If you liked the video, I'd appreciate a like, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next ones I'm working on. You can support my work with gratitude. To help more people see the video, click on praise. Thank you.